You know, after the Lafayette shooting, which is what, like 3 shootings back, and it was only a month ago, I got into a Twitter war with somebody who was I'll just say it, a gun nut. And you know, he made the argument that I've heard a million times, which is, well, people die in car crashes, maybe we should ban cars. And what I said to the guy was, look, before you can drive a car, you have to take a class. And then you have to pass a test to show that you're competent enough to drive the car. And then you have to have insurance in case anybody ever gets hurt in that car. Dude, I would love it if we treated guns the same way. Because we have this black and white mentality that it's either everybody has a gun and everybody's shooting at everything at all times, or they take away our toys. And you know what? There's a lot of middle ground between here and here. There's a lot of room for sensible regulations and improvements. There are things that can be done to make people safer, and yet it is not even on the table. And that reluctance, resistance to even talking about it is what pisses me off. We're gonna take our guns! We're gonna take our guns! Like, a lot of people talk about the Australian model. You know, Australia, they had the worst mass shooting in history. It was called Port Arthur. It was at Port Arthur. It was the Port Arthur shootings. And like 35 people died, and they implemented a very widespread, comprehensive gun solution. Their violence went way down, their suicides went way down. But even that wasn't banning guns. They basically tried to reduce the number of guns in their country with a buyback program. They literally bought guns back from people at a reasonable rate, actually a more than reasonable rate, and a lot of people took part in it. They're like, well, I've got like 5 guns, I don't need 5 guns, here's 4 of them, I'll take the money. And that got guns off the street, and they required permits for everybody who buys a gun. Again, like the car thing. And the last part was that they did ban the sale of certain military-style weapons, like AR weapons and stuff like that. Now, all of these are things that have been proposed over the years here in America, not by liberals, but by conservatives, by Republicans back in the day. Those were things that were once supported by the NRA. But we can't talk about that, because Second Amendment,